Nintendo Music has been out for 1 year, and I want to talk about it. This is a very important app for me. Hell, it's one of the weirdest quirks about myself, listening to music from video games. Starting at a young age, I fell in love with the OSTs of Donkey Kong Country and Super Castlevania 4 so much that it sealed my love for game music. I had the Ocarina of Time CD on a Walkman back in high school, and I have now garnered a collection of over 3,000 tracks from a variety of video game OSTs. And I do this everywhere. I play game music in my car by hooking up my phone via USB or AUX. I play game music at work and often have people stop me and ask things like, "Hey, isn't that music from Sonic?" Hell, I even played the Kakariko Village remix from the Symphony of the Goddesses CD at my wedding. The quality of the rips may vary, but for the most part, it gets the job done. I often listen to game music off YouTube and even made some videos dedicated to game music myself, but it wasn't without its hangups. For starters, you never could guarantee if the video would be available for long, or the channel for that matter. On top of that, I don't like the ads, but I'm also too cheap to pay to get rid of them. So when Nintendo Music was released last October, it held a lot of promise, and today, I want to weigh the pros and cons of the app, and then reach a decision about whether or not you too should include this app for your listening needs. So first off, the app has a very simple layout that's pretty easy to understand. You can search by track, game, or playlist, and I don't recall ever having to correct it, unlike a certain other search bar. Playlists are pretty creative. I mean, there's the standard ones sorted by franchise or by console, but there's also pretty cool ones linked to a certain character like the Yoshi playlist or the Tetra playlist. There's a playlist based on the 4 seasons now, a workout playlist, even a relaxing playlist for the times when you just want to unwind and listen to some tunes. You can also make your own custom playlists. Each track has a screenshot from the game included, and that is such a nice detail. It really goes the extra mile for me. Speaking of extra features that are quite thoughtful, there's spoiler tags you can add to avoid accidentally hearing final boss music from Kirby and the Forgotten Land or Tears of the Kingdom. You can also extend a vast majority of the tracks to either 5, 10, 15, 30, or even 60-minute extensions. But if there's one thing I like about this app above all the others is the fact that it's ad-free. I mean, it better be. The app is technically not free of charge. No, you do need a Nintendo account to be eligible. Still, when you're listening to 60-minute extensions of the Mario Galaxy soundtrack without ads in between, that's my idea of a good time. A lot of people would have preferred that Nintendo Music should have just been added to Spotify, but I have my qualms with that. First, I'm not crazy about how excessive Spotify has gotten with its ads as of late. It's worse than YouTube. My wife listens to Spotify, and one thing that blows my fuse box is how it will say things like, "Enjoy the next 30 minutes of ad-free music," and then 2 songs later I get more ads. Another thing I find irritating is how Spotify has a hard time reading my wife's tastes, so it would probably combust if it tried to read mine. And there's no way in hell any of these songs would allow extensions on the platform, so thanks but no thanks. To all those that consider Spotify the better option, I couldn't disagree more. Now, up until this point, you'd think I couldn't recommend this app enough. Hell, I'm probably being accused of being a Nintendo fanboy, or a shill right now. However, there are a few cons that I will not be ignoring. Nintendo is a greedy corporation after all, especially recently. So let's dive into some reasons you may want to steer clear of this app. If you know anything about how Nintendo likes to release products nowadays, you know what I'm about to dive into here. Say it with me now. Drip feed. Oh my gigas. When I first opened this app and saw that there were only a selection of 17 soundtracks to listen to, I was like,
You serious?
Yep. There is one new soundtrack being added every week. Out of Nintendo's entire music library, we are getting one soundtrack every single week. Good Ganon, they even took a week or 2 off this past year, didn't they? So your mileage may vary when it comes to new releases. On weeks when you get the likes of Wind Waker or Golden Sun, you're like, "Ooh, hooray!" And then there's weeks where you get Kid Icarus or 24 classic NES titles. Yes, this was a thing. As of right now, there's a beefy library, but it could be so much more.
Release Twilight Princess, you cowards!
Another thing that really throws a blue shell into my day is the odd inconsistency with the extensions feature. I mean, in context, this makes sense for tracks that are incredibly short and don't loop well, like Catastrophe from Super Mario Galaxy, or the Yoshis Grew Happier from Yoshi's Story. What the f did Fear Factory do to deserve such blasphemy? And while I'm at it, why not include the composer for each track as well? At the very least, list them under the game itself. I understand they got paid for their work already, but these aren't all done by Koji Kondo. Credit your musicians. So in conclusion, this app is fine. It's fine. It doesn't suck. It doesn't knock my socks off. It's just fine. If you already have a Nintendo account, it's a nice little feature to listen to all of Super Mario Odyssey ad-free. But if you don't, I can't recommend this being a feature to make the account worthwhile. It's a silly bonus. For me, I share a family plan with numerous relatives, and we split the cost so I can play Mario Kart with my old man or my cousins. But that's for me. That's why I said, oh hell, why not check it out? If there was 200 plus albums to choose from, then yes, I would definitely recommend for others to check this out. But the reality is, it's been a year, and we don't. I know a lot of you aren't going to wait around until it does, and I don't blame you. The only other really neat perk was when it dropped a handful of tracks for Switch 2 games like Kirby Air Riders and Donkey Kong Bonanza. But unless it makes a habit out of this, it's not worth drawing attention to. Maybe next year we'll see the app at its fullest potential, but aside from game music enthusiasts like me, it might be too little too late.